Hi everyone, this is Yogi. Now let's talk about the fundamentals of Ayurveda and what they are. That means the building blocks at the root of what Ayurveda is and how you can use it. So the base root of Ayurvedic medicine is dosha, which means element. So scientists, everybody agrees that everything in the world and beyond is made of elements. There are 5 elements: ether, which is space, air, fire, water, and earth. Now these combine together to make absolutely everything in this world. Everything from the chair you're sitting on, or the yoga mat you use, or the food you eat, your own body is made of these 5 elements. Now in Ayurvedic medicine we put them together because they're all one comes from another. So ether, the space element, has air in it, so we put it together and we call it the air element, or vata. Then we have pitta and water, which are put together, and that is called pitta, or the fire element. And then we have water and earth together, and we call that kapha, the earth element. So we have vata, pitta, and kapha, which are air, fire, and earth. Although we have the 5 elements, we're just naming them in 3s. Now, everything is dependent on these doshas or elements being in balance. Now, we're born into the world, and Ayurveda says we're born into the world with a certain nature. It's called Prakruti. This nature doesn't really change. It means your physical body, your mentality is kind of set in a certain way. And then, of course, it's influenced by the world once you live. In the first 5 to 7 years, it gets really etched in there, and then beyond that, you're going to go into the world and pick up other things. But right there, as you come into the world, your body either has a little bit more fire, a little bit more earth, a little bit more air, and that combination of whatever is a little bit predominant is there. It's going to always be there, unless, let's say, you move it. So let's say you have a lot of earth element throughout your life and you're a little bit heavier, but you're really into exercise, so then you will move that earth element and turn it into fire. So you can transform and move these elements up and down to keep them in balance, although you might have been born with certain elements more predominant. Now the next thing is Guna. Gunas are like elements in our mind. We have sattva, which is balance in the middle. Then we have rajas. Rajas is like a little bit like fire. It gets us going. It gets our fiery nature going. And on the other side, we have tamas. Tamas is a little bit more like inertia, less movement, more stagnant. The more we go into one side or the other, we take on that as a kind of personality and natural nature. We also come into the world with a certain mentality as well, because we come from the parents we do and everything they did during the time that they were pregnant. All of that is kind of ingrained in us. So we come into the world with our body being a certain way and our mind being a certain way. So this is Prakruti, our nature. Now we can become something else, but sometimes it takes more effort to achieve those things because we're going against our nature. Now the third principle here is Agni. Agni is the fire in the body, but this particular fire is sitting in the digestion. Ayurveda says this fire has to be burning perfectly, not too high so it gives you acidity, and not too low so it gives you indigestion, but that perfect fire within your system, because Ayurveda also says we are individuals, not like anybody else, so we have a certain nature in that sense too. And this Agni needs to always be protected, so that means the diet you eat needs to be perfect for you, and everything you do needs to keep that fire in balance, because Agni, the fire, is burning impurities, it's transforming food into nutrition, it's cleansing the blood, it's helping the body in many different ways, like giving us heat in the body as well. And then of course when we're sick, it's helping to cleanse the body. So that's another principle of Ayurveda, Agni, which we're keeping, because if we keep the fire in the intestines and in the stomach really healthy, then the rest of the body will have a chance to also be healthy. The next principle is root cause. We go to the root cause of everything. So if you have an ailment, we want to know what the root cause is. We don't want to just see the symptom. So everything in Ayurveda is about root cause. Are you thinking about something that's giving you a headache? The thought is the root cause, the headache is the symptom. Are you eating something that's giving you acidity? The thing you're eating and the mentality behind what you're eating is the root cause. So we're always going to the root cause to dig it up and know what it is, because that root cause is what's feeding all the different symptoms. So that's another principle of Ayurveda that we're looking to better, because if we understand we don't just follow the symptoms, we go to that root, like if we want to grow something but then we don't like it and we want to dig it up, like a tree or whatever in our garden, it will come back if the roots are still there. So these are some of the fundamental principles of Ayurveda, and these are the ways that you're going to be able to use them to better yourself. So doshas, elements, gunas in the mind, root cause, Agni, these are the fundamentals of Ayurveda. And once you understand how these are moving around in your body, then you'll be able to understand how to use your diet correctly, how to use all the fundamentals correctly, so you can make different changes. Because some things will come very easy to you, because that's naturally how it is for you, and then some things are very difficult for you. And this is across the board for everybody. So these are the fundamentals that you should get to know more about. And then, like I said about Prakruti, your nature, once you understand it, you'll feed that nature in a positive way, and then you'll put aside all the things that go against it, unless you want to achieve something, because sometimes we want to achieve things that are not within our nature. So in that case, we have to spend more time on them. So sit down and think about these things a little bit more, and then we'll go into the next video and series, and we'll talk more about how you can use these principles. Namaste.